Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope all is well with you and yours. What's good, what's good, what's good. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on as usual, right? What I'm going to be looking for today is the market to go up, like by a lot. The reason why is because apparently there's a story going around that the US and China have come to some sort of an agreement with regard to the precious minerals, right? Or how do they call it? The rare earths. And what else? That's right. Technology going over to China, rare earths coming over here. So there could be a deal reached, and it only needs Xi and Trump to sign off on it, I guess. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm expecting that to move markets today in a positive fashion, which means we could be looking at a very serious up day for crypto. Right? When I rolled over in the middle of the night, it was about 2:22. I saw green across all the alts. Green, deep green. And I was like, wow. I think Uniswap at that time was up. Bear with me. I was up at 2:22. And it looked like Uniswap was at about up 17% or something like that. And I was like, it must be that I'm sleeping. It must be that I'm sleeping, because I don't see how that happens. But no, I was correct. So it went over the past 24 hours. It was up 14.57%. And right now it's experiencing a whopping pullback of 0.62. So I wasn't going crazy. Wow. Over the past 7 days, it's up 21.82%. That's Uniswap. So yeah, I'm expecting some serious movement. Hutanic could be right. We could be looking at a 3,000 week for Ethereum. Have you seen the price of Ethereum? Right now, Ethereum is at, let me take a look, 2772.65. It was at 28 and change yesterday. Something could happen. Another catalyst could be that the Clarity Act has cleared the Agriculture Committee within the House. It's bipartisan support, but it's facing some pushback from the Democrats, and here's why. Apparently, there are a lot of DeFi exceptions. I wonder whose businesses are involved in DeFi, that there would need to be exceptions. Let me think about this. Makes you stop and think. It really does make you stop and think, like, really? That's interesting, folks. That's really interesting. Thanks for letting me know. Then we've got South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung. I pray I'm pronouncing that properly. I apologize if I'm not. Invite me over and I will gladly buy you a beer and we can sit down and talk politics and the economy. More of the economy, please. Then we've got, so when we look at that, he's proposing that the Digital Asset Basic Act to allow stablecoin issuance by companies with 500 million won equity amid global stablecoin regulation debates and Bank of Korea's exploration of deposit tokens. Yeah. He's saying if they're big enough and they have liquidity, maybe we allow them to issue stablecoins. Here's a question, though. How many stablecoins do you need, operating within your borders? And with those stablecoins, which are crypto, how much of that money do you expect to stay within your borders? See how that works? I'm just wondering at what point enough is enough. Asking for a friend. Just saying. I want, because it just seems like the idea of stablecoins is just running rampant. Now, it could just be me. But I don't think so. I think the idea of stablecoins literally is just going nuts. BNY Mellon and SocGen doing a stablecoin together where BNY Mellon is going to handle custodial services. You've got Wells Fargo, Citi, Bank of America, and another one, I forgot who it is. You have those banks, the big four, going around talking about, yeah, we might start our own stablecoin. Imagine. So now you'll be able to move money faster between all of those banks around the world. And so why would I use another stablecoin? And you wonder why Tether is investing in so many different things. Those guys are not stupid. Those guys are very smart. They make what? Like I keep saying, they make like $1 billion a month. $1 billion a month in transaction fees. That's just from one of their businesses. It was said that if they were to go IPO, the valuation would be about $515 billion. Billion. Why do you think all these companies want to create stablecoins? Because they're looking at Tether, they're looking at others making big money. Why should they make all the money? Interesting outlook. Signum warned that Strategy's goal to own 5%, they currently own 3%. Strategy's goal to own 5% Bitcoin supply could harm Bitcoin's institutional appeal and market stability, despite 56% profit from the holdings. The reason why is because if you have fewer people owning or fewer entities owning Bitcoin, it becomes centralized, right? And that's exactly what we don't want. If these entities wind up just holding Bitcoin, that detracts from how it's meant to be used, right? Because it's meant to be used. You know, the whole pizza thing? Yeah, that's supposed to be a thing. Not buy it, hold it, keep it from everybody else. I'm telling you, if you get to a point where you only have few entities owning so much of something, it's going to wind up being worthless and everybody will move to other coins. Don't believe me? Here's an idea. Gold is mad expensive. How many people do you see running around the world, well, at least in the United States, wearing different material rings, wedding rings? Why is that? Because gold is so expensive. It's crazy expensive. So yeah, people are running around and they're saying, yeah, no, we're not going to go for that. We're not going to go for that. So at some point, you could get to a point where people just go, oh, that used to be a thing, but you people wrecked it. So now we're over here. It's like the club that, you know, back in the day, there were these things called clubs where you'd go listen to music, drink, and dance. Not many of those running around anymore in the United States, but thanks to the pandemic. But it was like that club that only the elite got into. And by the time they started letting the regulars in, the regulars were kind of like, this is whack. And they would go to another club. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. Yo, Red Star into his house. Good morning. People are going to be mad when they realize they should have invested in altcoins. They are going to be mad when they realize they should have invested in altcoins. Do I buy Bitcoin? Of course I buy Bitcoin in the hopes that it will not walk down that road where only the elite own it. Right? Because it'll take a while. But I own a lot more in altcoins. My total altcoin holdings are more than my Bitcoin holdings because of that reason. Because if you only have a few, that means the coin becomes an elitist holding, right? Yeah. Sort of like those places where you hear about rich people going on vacation, but you could never go because you could never afford it. I just want to hold a little bit of it. Just saying. But if I really want to really truly create value, I'm going to do that with altcoins. Except that I'm paying more attention to it because altcoins will rise fast, but altcoins will also fall fast. And I've got to pay attention to that. These are facts. So I'm just trying to do what I got to do. Right? What else do we have? We have OpenAI Sam Altman warned of a gentle singularity as AI surpasses human intelligence. It doesn't mean that AI can, replace people all the way or anything else like that. What it means is that we're well down that road. So if you're one of those people that are sitting there thinking, will AI affect my job? Your default answer should be yes, and you should be thinking about how you can step up your game. Yeah. And I don't care what job you have. You want to know why? The Chinese have created a nuclear inspector. And you go, oh, okay, a nuclear inspector. That's not a big deal. Oh, except that it's built with AI. They used AI and robotics to build a nuclear inspector. And they used the Monte Carlo algorithm. So if you're thinking that your job can't be replaced, yeah, you should probably go rethink that. You should probably go rethink that. Just saying. Just gonna put that out there for you. It's not a bad thing to rethink things. And that would be one of the things that I would rethink. Then you've got China and AI integration surging with $20 billion in Amazon investments in what? AI data centers. Yeah. They're spending that money. They're not playing games. They're absolutely not playing games. None of these companies are playing games. They see the opportunity. They're going to seize the opportunity. Even Pakistan planning to allocate 200 megawatts of surplus electricity for what? Bitcoin mining? For the money? And AI data centers. I made a comment a few days ago, or the last time I made this comment was a few days ago. And I said that at some point, we need to stop calling these countries developing countries. Some of these countries are developed, and we're just not recognizing it because we don't hear about it. So we heard about, certain countries a long time ago. So we're still stuck on, the views and thoughts from a long time ago. Get that out of your head. Some of these countries are thinking way advanced. Surplus electricity going for making money. Yeah. So imagine. So I really look at people and I just kind of go, you need to get this right. Yo, Turtle Bitcoin in the house. Good morning. Get things right. Open up your eyes. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's the GMB 3. I spend a lot of time, people don't believe me. I spend a lot of time trying to educate people. I've had people come at me because, my background, they're like, oh, your background is trash. Is that what you got out of this? I whack those people. I just delete them from the community. You don't belong here. You do not belong here. I have people in this community that are way smarter than I am, do way more research than I do. And they bless us by being a part of our community, by sharing information, sharing thoughts, opinions, ideas with the rest of the community. Why? Because this is the only community, the Grow My Bag community is the only one 100% focused on helping us all grow our bags. Not me grow my bag, not my kids grow their bags, but all of us grow our bags. And people still show up talking about, oh, your background is trash. I think it came from the day that I think it came from Saturday, this past Saturday when I was talking about AI and how AI can be used to doing a whole bunch of stuff. And I guess they were coming at me because I should have hired the real artist to go do some background work for me. And I'm like, yes, but you missed the point. The point is that if you defined enough, that's all you need. I don't need to go above and beyond. So if you're thinking in an elitist kind of mindset that nobody's going to take my job because no AI can do art like I can. No AI can lay brick like I can. It's highly possible. Except they have machines that don't lay brick. They lay cement. And they literally print out homes and other structures. Everybody's going to be affected by AI, robotics, and automation. So now's the time that you should start thinking about how is that going to affect me and how can I adjust to the new world so I can continue to grow my bag. I can continue to put food on the table. I can continue to grow. I told you guys, I live for my last name. I don't live for my first name. So when I do all this research and I'm sharing it with you, I'm sharing it with my kids. That's how all of this got started. It's all about educating my kids. And then it turned into, well, my kids don't want to listen to me. So shoot videos, share information, do the research. So now my kids will come up to me like, yo, I heard you say blah, 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 blah. First of all, daddy moment. I'm proud that they heard me. I have another one of my kids that's actually, in charge of my marketing. He'll tell me what to do, and he's right every single time. See, right there, red star, you nailed it. I think the smartest artists are realizing that AI is nothing more than a tool for them. It's like Photoshop. You've been using AI for a long time. It's like Photoshop. Yeah. You use Photoshop, you use Illustrator, you use a paintbrush. There are people out there doing art with paper clips. And you're crying about AI? Okay. I understand if you're using a public AI and you're giving it your art. Yeah, I agree with you there. But if you have AI locally that you control, you're not giving anything to AI. That's when you're using AI to enhance your work, to enhance your output. Yeah. Let me give you a hint. This is book number 1. Crypto Foundations for Building Multi-Generational Wealth. You see that cover? That cover was done by an artist, but you see the first part of this cover? The first layer of that cover? AI. And then I gave it to the artist. And he blew it out the water. My second book, it's a bit bigger, a little harder. The GMB 3, The Art of Research, Timing, and Deliberate Wealth. You see this cover? See all that beautiful water, that layout? Yeah, that's AI. That's AI. And I gave it to another artist, and she blew it out the water. Oh, this right here? Yeah, that was AI too. But she laid it out, told me what to do, and everything else like that. If she knew how to do AI, she could have done that herself. I just had a vision for what I wanted. The same thing with this one. I had a vision for what I wanted. And I was able to put that vision out there and give it to the artist and say, this is what I'm going for. And they were like, oh, word? I never would have thought of putting coins in the roots. I never would have put coins dropping down like in the Matrix. I never would have thought of that. That was an artist. That took my book cover from being acceptable to being, oh, that's nice. Yeah. Exactly. It's a tool. It's a tool. Crypto was once looked at as something that nobody ever wanted to be involved in, right? Except a few people that wanted pizza. Just saying. And then all of a sudden now you have institutions all around the world that want to be involved in it because they know it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. It's going to one day replace all fiat. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. Governments are cringing because it's stateless. Most crypto is stateless. Bitcoin is stateless. Crypto combined can actually replace fiat all over the world. In some places in the world, it's actually fiat because it's all they have. Just saying. If you take so that you can control, somebody's going to figure out a way to create something else to take away that control. AI will try to do its best, like a kid trying to impress you. It will try to do what you ask it to, like a genie. I think it's more like people can get ideas out faster, but it's going to take those people that spend time with the technology to do it better. It's sort of like Photoshop. When Photoshop first came out, nobody was an ace at Photoshop. Artists were like, Photoshop. And then artists started using Photoshop to touch up photos, actual photos, doing things that they never could have done before. Sound familiar? Yeah. So when I look at crypto and I look at AI and I look at automation and I look at robotics, this is what I see. So we're all going to have to step up. Why not start now? It's as simple as that. The news is telling you. The news is telling you. I got one more piece of news. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse acknowledged Dogecoin's role in crypto, even though he doesn't like memes. I'm not a fan of memes, but Doge was a meme coin, but it was a meme coin that rose to the top and actually is used. To me, it doesn't have any extending use case. It'll wind up getting blown away by other coins as other coins move up. For example, I think Cardano is going to wind up blowing Dogecoin away, right? It's got real use. There's liquidity in Doge. That's about it, because people still have faith in it. People still have faith in it. Even on one of my websites, you can buy things using Doge. Just saying. It's all right. It's all right. But I just don't think it has a long life ahead of it. Facts. Ripple's XRP ledger will launch an Ethereum-compatible sidechain in this quarter. It's ready to go. Ripple and an Ethereum-compatible sidechain. Think about that combination. Enabling DeFi apps via Axelar and connecting to the XRPL mainnet using wrapped XRP as gas. Wow. That's interesting. People are trying to find ways to move value. If I just break it down like that, people are just trying to find ways to more efficiently and cheaply move value. We got into a conversation about how you can move Bitcoin across Cardano, some way, shape, or form. Same thing. Interoperability is becoming a very big deal. It's going to be all about moving value. And the more easily you can move value, the faster you can do business, the less value costs. Because, money costs money. Just saying. What else should we do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. So let me put that over there. All right. So we're seeing the market down right now at about 71%. Like I said, here's China. U.S. officials reach agreement for allowing rare earth and tech trade. Now it's up to Trump and Xi. We'll see what happens. But everything seems down right now. I don't think it's going to stay there. If this is right, I don't think it's going to stay there. Just saying. Just saying. Not going to worry about the earnings report. That's silly. There's not much being talked about with regard to earnings. But you know what we do get today? You see this? CPI, the Consumer Price Index, all happening 8:30. This is what the story is about. We get CPI today. We get PPI tomorrow. Those are very big deals. Very, very, very big deals. And then on Friday, we get consumer sentiment. The preliminary numbers, but we get consumer sentiment. Those three numbers, those are the ones that you're going to be eyeballing. Those are the ones that you're going to be paying attention to. And please do pay attention to it. These are not small things. These are not small things, because this is going to help the Fed figure out whether or not later this month, next month, August, September, whenever, that they're going to decide to drop the rates. And I think it's only going to happen twice this year. I also think it's not going to be a full point. There are a couple of banks out there that will say, yeah, we don't think it's going to be a full point the way we originally thought. Now, I was listening to somebody and they were like, well, the argument is there to drop the interest rates by 25 basis points. But does that really do anything? Not really. And the argument isn't really all that strong to do it. It's just to shut a certain person up. You might do it. But if he hasn't done a move like that to shut him up, if he does do it, it's going to be because Powell believes it's a good move to make. That's what I prefer. And the rumors are that Scott Bessent is being looked at to replace Powell. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, so another kiss butt? Oh. Yeah. It's supposed to remain separate. Just saying. Total value locked. This is where I want to be, above $125 billion in total value locked. I want to be above 125. I really want to be above 250. It gives us a fighting chance to get to 200. Maybe by the end of the year when everything starts going up. Bitcoin right now is at 109,308. See how we're just bouncing around right here. We're just bouncing around just above our previous high. We're just playing that game. When we're over here, you notice how nobody's really talking about it. Nobody's like, yay! Nobody's doing that. Oh yeah, we did it before. Oh yeah. That's been the reaction. That's been the reaction to me. You see why I'm moving this lower? It's because let me move this in the middle so actually people would be able to see it if they're looking, at the portrait shot. So if you're looking at this right here, what you're really seeing is an opportunity to bounce up. And look how strong that bounce could wind up being. And here's something else I'm going to show you. Right here, this is where we have to be to get to 120. That's a long way up. That's a long way up. Still, I think it can happen because when you look at the whole thing, look at how long we linger between narrower bands. But I think it could happen. I mean, look at where we were before. Look at where we were before, like right about here at about 100. And we're all the way back up here fighting to maintain about 109 to 111, 112. Yeah. There's a lot of upswing to that. Looking at the big board, I'm kind of like, there's still opportunities out here. Ethereum is below at 2,800. It's below 3,000. Is Ethereum still a buy? People ask me like, yeah, it's still a buy. What are you coming to me asking me silly questions for? There are a lot of opportunities here to go buy something. Even Arbitrum is making moves, making noise. Optimism's trying to make noise. Uniswap is making noise. Link, I told you guys 2 days ago, it was $13. I told you just a little while ago, it was $13. And a little while before that, it was 12. Nobody was paying attention to me. Nobody was paying attention to me. But look at it now. So imagine from 12 to 15, 20%. We're not talking long ago. We're talking a few weeks. 20% in a few weeks. Everybody just drives me nuts with the whole, I'm looking for that next 10x, 100x. I'm happy for you, and I hope you find it. But that does not mean I'm going to snub my nose at a nice, easy 20% here, 10% there. I'm going to play that game. I'm going to play the volatility game. No problem. I'm going to try to see, am I right when I call the market going down? Am I right when I see the market going up? When it hits a peak, I'm going to sell. When it hits as high as I think is going to go, I'm going to sell a little bit. I'm going to sprinkle. A little bit here, a little bit there. It's not profit until you realize it. It's not a loss until you realize it. Just saying, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. When I tell you what I am doing, what I plan on doing, that is me investing deliberately. I'm being very specific about what parameters I need to meet for me to make a move. I'm investing deliberately, and it happens in order. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and not just the numbers to get in, numbers to get out, but also how do I purchase, how do I sell? And invest deliberately. Just saying. And remember, investing deliberately is not just putting your money in, money out, money on hold. Whether you're holding in the market or holding outside the market. 4 choices. 4 choices. Think about that. And then you look at, just the board just going across to see where everything's at. There's still a distance between Bitcoin and Ethereum of about 34%. Earlier, I think over the weekend, that number was like 39%. It was over 39%. Yes, I pay attention to that dominance. Turtle Bitcoin thinks that BTC is going to be at 200K in November. I have to say it's possible. I have to say it's actually possible, right? And then, you look at the GMB crypto tracker and you kind of go, well, I just want to see the losers. Let's go take a look at the losers. All right. Axelar down 14.79%, GMB X factor 4.41. Zebek network. Somebody was asking me about it. You know who you are, because I know you're listening right now. It's down 10.65% with a GMB X factor of 0.87. Now, Looking at Zebek Network, can I make money off of this? It's possible. It's down 10%, 10.5%. Can I make money off of that move? Yeah, I possibly can. Because if I'm down 10%, right, I've got to make that back. I think that can happen with Zebek. I just don't have a slot to get involved in it. I do not have a slot to get involved in it. So I just said, I'm going to chill. But if something is down this big, that could be a reason to take a chance because it could rise back to where it is. Just saying. I pay attention to these things. So who else is down? Dog we've had is down 4.35%. Oh yeah, that's right. But I have a 5% rule. I don't pay attention to things unless they move 2 days in a row when it's less than 5%. And it has to be above 5% for me to pay attention to it. That day or a combination of days, I need to see that because crypto moves just like that. And that's how I get the rhythm of coins. Now, let's go take a look at the winners. Ooh, look at this. So right here is where I start my 5%. Deepbook got a 0.99 GMB X factor. Axie Infinity 59.4 GMB X factor. Do I think it's going to recover? It could. I just don't think so. Why don't I think so? Because it's gaming and gaming isn't making a comeback yet. Notice how I said yet. Aerodrome Finance up 6.85%, GMB X factor 2.96 possible. XTC, somebody was mentioning XTC last night. I just didn't have time to get to it. It's up 7.44% with a GMB X factor of 1.84. Can it do it? Highly possible. Ethereum Name Service, ENS, up 7.5%, GMB X factor of 2.51. Can it do it? Maybe. I never understood why they needed a coin. I don't need their coin to make a purchase, so I never understood that. So it's up to you if you want to get involved in that. Next one up, Arbitrum, up 7.8% with a GMB X factor of 4.99. I think Arbitrum is starting to wake up. I think people are starting to build on Arbitrum, and that's going to be a big deal. Let's see, Optimism, up 8.79%, GMB X factor of 5.84. They're in the same boat as Arbitrum, actually. But I think I think people could start to see Optimism start to wake up, right? Who else is on here that I'm paying attention to? Lido, up 9.56%, GMB X factor 6.65. Again, I'm showing you things that are, X. These are the GMB X factor. So from where it is now, how many times, in addition to this, how many times does it have to go to get to its all-time high? That's what we're looking at. Axie Infinity was the first coin I ever made money on. Bought at 12, went up to 170. If you have faith. I'm telling you, there are coins out there that you should be paying attention to, that people sleep on. Not everything happens at the same time. This is why I tell everybody all the time, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. In that order. Now, I've got to get going. So this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowManBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor. Smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community and tell them they need to be here. This is the place. You know what I tell people? Everybody's a rock star when the market is going up. Everybody is a rock star when the market is going up. Do we talk about the market going up? Yes, we do. Do we talk about the market going down? Yes, we do. Do we talk about the strategies on how to survive both? Yes, we do. We're not a one-way pony. I know it's supposed to be one-trick pony. We're not a one-way pony. We pay attention to everything because the whole idea is knowledge is power. That's the whole idea. Knowledge is power. And the more that you have of it, the better chances you have to growing your bag. Anyway, everybody, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tonight on the Crypto Overflow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Show up with bells on. Show up with questions. Show up with suggestions. But most importantly, just show up. Everybody have a good one. Bye-bye.